Hey guys, everything new under the sun. What's happening in the world? There seems to be blackouts everywhere. It's something you should be concerned about, watching, and prepared for. This is happening in Lebanon. Let's have a look at this article from Zero Hedge. Entirety of Lebanon goes dark. Mass power outage to last several days. And we're going to talk about China, India, the United States, various countries that are experiencing or expected to experience blackouts. And there's a great energy shortage all around the world. This is what's happening in Europe right now, in the UK specifically, where they brought out the army to drive trucks to gas stations, petrol stations to fill them up. There's something happening. What is the problem? On Saturday, the entirety of Lebanon was plunged into darkness with the electricity grid shut down completely after the small Mediterranean country's two main power stations reportedly ran out of fuel. The Al Zarani and Diyar Ammar power stations stopped working after supplies of diesel were apparently exhausted and energy production dropped below 200 megawatts. Lebanese official has confirmed to Reuters that blackout is expected to last multiple days. Lebanese power network completely stopped working at noon today and is unlikely that it will work until next Monday or for several days. So the whole country of Lebanon has no power. They won't have it for days. Now, they're mismanaging their economy. Their economy is in shambles. But this is a problem. This is happening all around the world and could happen to you. This is why you need to be prepared, significantly prepared, I would say, at this point in time. This is coming to the United States, coming to Canada. The official said the state electricity company would try and use the Army's fuel oil reserve to operate the power plants temporarily, but that won't happen anytime soon. Over the past month, major Lebanese cities have experienced periodic blackouts, but this looks to be the worst and most far reaching and long lasting, increasing the misery of Lebanese population, still in the midst of an economic crisis, persistent fuel shortage, and which has seen the local economy, or currency rather, plunge 90%. Is this an example of what's going to happen again in North America and is already happening in other places of the world? Residents and business owners have tried to endure via generators and hoarding personal fuel supplies insofar as possible for those who can afford it. So there's hoarding of fuel, there's hoarding of generators. If you think a generator is going to help you, it may last a couple of days, depending on how many jerry cans of fuel you got. But at the end of the day, you may not be able to go to a gas station and get gas for your generator. So you may need another plan. And I always suggest having some sort of solar power ability. It's not the perfect solution. It doesn't power things maybe as much as a generator would, depending on how much money you put in it. But it's renewable. You can charge it up. If you get a good sunny day, you can charge up your batteries and be able to power some basic things again. So overall, it's a much more stable, I think, backup option. Lebanon's electricity company warns in September that the country could plunge into total blackout in October. And remember the article from Klaus Schwab about cyber polygon. And if there is a significant cyber attack, power could be out. The internet could be out. The internet could go down for a day or two. There could be power outages all over the place. You need to be prepared. It's the next global problem that's coming, that he sees coming. All right, let's look at this. India faces rolling blackouts as coal shortage forces power plants to adopt emergency measures. So this is dated October 2021. So India, due to a combination of factors including environmentalists' push for green energy, and this is the problem in China, like wind and solar, plus the whatever-inspired collapse in the global supply chains. You know what I mean. You know what we're talking about. The supply chain. And this is really coming out of the lockdowns. This is what's happening to countries around the world. Energy producers ramped down because there was no people purchasing energy as much as when the economy was going full tilt. They ramped down production. Now they're trying to ramp up production, but it's going to take months, maybe a year or two, to ramp up production again. And in the meantime, there's going to be massive shortages. So India, supply chains leaving the countries around the world desperate and for badly needed energy supplies. Energy crises have been unfolding in China, the UK, continental Europe, now India, the world's largest democracy. Just like Chinese authorities ordering energy firms to conserve supplies at all costs, the Chinese are looking inwards now. They're conserving at all costs the supplies they have. They're going back to burning coal, and coal supplies are low. A minister in the Indian capital, New Delhi, warned Sunday that blackouts could rock the massive city over the next 2 days. But the nation's capital isn't alone in suffering energy shortages. It joins two Indian states, Tamil and Odisha, which have issued warnings about the growing possibility of blackouts to dwindling coal supplies. Now, remember, this is October. We haven't even hit the cold months yet, as countries head into the winter, especially Northern Hemisphere countries, obviously. North America, Europe, with all the energy issues already happening there and the shortages already, this is going to be a massive problem. U.S. heating oil supplies lowest in decades ahead of winter. They're low now because companies haven't ramped up. Americans are hoping the energy crisis in Asia won't spread stateside. That's going to happen. That's wishful thinking. But industry insiders warn that winter blackouts across the U.S. are possible, as low fossil fuel stockpiles may lead to shortages amid heightened demand, and they are forecasting a cold winter this year. Latest concern is ultra-low stockpiles of heating oil. Do you heat your home with oil? That's low now. In the winter 2019-2020, about 5.5 million households use heating oil as their primary source. 81% of those households were in the Northeast. I certainly advocate for firewood, but that's not an option for everybody for many different reasons, because of the physical effort needed to stoke a fire, and that's not to mention cutting, stacking wood. But if you have a wood stove, you can last a couple of days a week. If you have to, you can go out and forage for some wood. It's one of the easiest and I believe the greenest, most renewable way to heat your house, because trees grow, and there will be new trees for the new generation as long as you're planting trees. And so if you're depending on heating oil, look out. We could be in for some trouble if this is a cold winter. Low stockpiles ahead of cooler weather could be problematic for consumers who may be burdened with high energy costs or worse, fuel shortages. So this is a problem. This is what they see. And also, there's also talk of blackouts in the U.S. for the same reason: fuel shortages. Power companies burning coal, burning other things, could be looking at lower fuel storage. Energy crisis rolling back blackouts. This is from theglobalmail.com. And this is in China. Rolling blackouts in China could disrupt the global supply chain. So, as I've been warning, if you're looking to get something, get it now, before it's too late. But this is just a headline. You gotta go behind a paywall for this. But again, China, all sorts of trouble there. This is RT.com. October 1st, 2021. With blackouts looming, German government, so this is in Germany, holds Disaster Preparation Day, promotes cooking without electricity. And so you see an elderly person using candles to keep warm, basically. So this is happening in Germany, all around. High demand in the transition to what? Green power has left much of Europe at risk of blackouts. In Germany, state authorities are teaching the public to heat their homes with candles and get used to cooking without electricity. I mean, can you imagine the world that we're living in right now? That how many countries, all these first world countries around the world, are having all sorts of trouble with power all at the same time, all in October 2021, warning of or in the middle of rolling blackouts, power shortages, all well prior to winter. The Civil Protection Office, it says, unveiled a campaign ad focusing on preparation and will soon release a targeted strategy addressing stockpiling extreme weather, power failure, and emergency baggage. Meanwhile, officials will present a new book entitled Cooking Without Electricity at the event in Bonn Saturday. Based on the official communications, blackouts are coming to Germany soon, while the idea of the world's sixth most developed country being unable to power itself may seem ludicrous. The problem is Europe-wide and is a result of a number of factors. So Europe-wide, basically all the first world countries of the world are looking at this, seeing some danger come down the pipe. Germany is gone so far as warning its citizens to prepare to have rolling blackouts. Are they getting people ready? Are they conditioning people to expect some blackouts? They certainly are. They think there's blackouts coming. And so what did Klaus Schwab say is coming related to Cyber Polygon? Grids down, internet down, and worse. All of this being worse than what we've already been through. So I don't think you need a lot more evidence than that. Go Google power outages, rolling blackouts, energy supply limitations and trouble, and you'll find all sorts of articles. Be prepared. I'm saying that I think the 7-year period could start this fall. We are in the Shemitah year, which runs September this year through September 2022. It's a year of return. Historically, traditionally, it's a year when economic trouble really kicks up, and it seems every 7 years there is significant trouble on the markets in the economy, and we're heading into a time where Klaus Schwab is effectively predicting global shutdowns because of energy and cyber attacks and electricity trouble. Be prepared, like I say. Have some solar ready. Have a Jackery backup solar generator ready to go. Have some backup power for lights. Have some candles. You need to be prepared for all instances. Also have alternative heating methods. That is really key, I'll say. So get prepared, people. It's coming. It's hitting Europe significantly right now, and they haven't even gotten to winter yet. And it's coming to probably a city near you, maybe even right to where you're living. So be prepared. I am out in the country where effectively I own the waterworks. I don't own the, by which I mean I have a well. I don't own the electricity works, but I do have some backup options for electricity and plans in place. And I mean, you can never be too prepared. There's always more things you can do, but start off with something small. Get a small solar system, couple of 100-watt panels. 100-watt panels are only $100 Canadian these days. What would that be? $70, $80 American. You can have a little renewable setup for quite cheap. Even if you have a generator, make sure you have some extra fuel on hand. Be prepared. We don't know what's coming, but no one saw the world health trouble coming 2 years ago. None of us saw it coming, but we were warned of it in Event 201, right? And so are we being warned of something with Cyber Polygon, which is an exercise to predict or get the world ready for cyber attacks, which could bring down the energy grids of the world and the technological tools the world uses, banking, everything you do with your cell phone, cellular networks, etc. All these things are run by the internet and by technology. Be prepared, guys. This is coming. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a great Thanksgiving for those Canadians, and we'll see you in the next video.